Okay, what we got here tonight with us?
We got the vixyvice, the one and only vixyvice, and the vixen live with you.
No doubt. No doubt. How was your day today?
Pretty good, pretty nice. Had some good dinner, so I'm feeling pretty good right now. You know, dinner always changes the mood.
All right. So let's get to the nitty gritty. I don't want to hold you up too long. Let's get to the questions, All right, so what was your first experience with the music?
My first experience ever with the music was honestly trying to figure out my own sound. Coming to make music and coming to be about like creating Pixie all started with just rapping and freestyling off of the beats that I would find on YouTube in my bedroom. And I just did it like as a way to express myself and be creative. And it was kind of like a little secret for me in the beginning. I just, kept doing it. It was something I had a lot of fun with, and I always had a voice. So, I just kept doing it and kind of keeping it to myself and just kind of improving as I didn't even know what I was doing, but the whole time I was improving myself for the long run.
Well, that's what's up. That's what's up, man. That's what's up. So how did you get into making music?
Getting into making the music was, I always felt like no one really understood me or ever noticed me or really got me. I was always feeling like the outcast in the room. And I always, initially felt that I shouldn't be, perceived that way. I always figured I was worth more and there was more I could offer than the ways I was treated, and I felt like, when I was doing like the music and starting to begin, it was like a way to like kind of redeem that and kind of, take my power back in a way and be like, like I am somebody that should be heard and noticed because, I've had a really tough story, coming into the music. And that's where it all comes into play is, the cards I was handed and, the routes I was taking and, the plan I've been, on this whole time and the things I've been chasing after, they never really were working until music came into place. That was, probably a missing part of my life for a long time that I didn't know I needed.
I understand that for real. So what song was most difficult for you to write?
The most difficult song for me to write by far would definitely be Sins because, that song comes from a real established of pain. And, that is, a song I wrote in August of 2022. So, that song comes with, it comes with the beginning because that song like stands for like what I wished I could have done back then, the ways I explained my pain and my story in that song, it really was what I only could have ever wished to do back then when I first started. And, it's definitely a big song, a big message. And it sends a lot of, messages and the fact that, there's a lot of things happening in everybody's life. And, no matter what we go through in life, we have to keep pushing through that. I've been, given a lot of, hardships and that song was hard to write. I remember writing it with, I felt like I was in such a box. I was in such a trapped place and I was so angry and I was in such a rage and I had taken every emotion I had ever felt as vixyvice and I had finally just sat in a room for hours. I kid you not. I sat there from 7 p.m. I got tight and I just found the right, beat and I found the right rhythm. And I really had so much I wanted to say. So I did not go to sleep until I finished that song. And how I recorded it is exactly how I wanted it to sound. So, but it was hard. I wrote it with, tears streaming down my face the whole time, with so much anger in my soul. But I felt like once I had finally had the chance to listen to it back, I was able to release some of that anger and be like, this is all about the creativity. It's all about the art. It's all about wanting more for myself than I ever had and never settling for what I do have and always chasing after more.
Well, that's what life is about. Experiences, experiences, man, make us better. You heard?
Right. And my experiences brought me to that song for sure. Everything I was feeling, I put into it. And it was a really beautiful thing to see because it's such a great song and I love it so much. I listen to it all the time. I always tell people this is one of my most serious songs. Because, when it comes to music, I like to have fun with it. If we're heartbroken, let's laugh about it. If we're hurting, let's stunt on them. You know what I'm saying? Let's never let people see us down, no matter how bad we feel. It's always, try to do more for ourselves and, care for ourselves, look after ourselves for anybody.
That's what's up. That's what it's always about, growth, you know? So what you think is the most difficult thing about being a musician?
Oh, I would say it's all the time, you fail, it's a lot of the, you think you're doing so good. You think you're doing so much. You think you're moving in such a professional route. And then there are people that are still looking down on you and think that you don't do enough when they don't even know what it took for you to do what you're doing and what it took for you to get there. That's my thing. It's like you could not have, feelings in the moment that you want to do it, the personal things you go through, a lot of things can like halt you, but everything I faced, I still kept, pushing through. But that's the thing. The fans, they don't know that, the people that are around me, they don't know that, the people that, listen to me and look up to me, which I love and adore, they don't get to see all those moments because, we're never going to, bless our most rawest, moments of truth where we have to be humbled, online to see or, so that's the most difficult thing is, I would say people really just not giving you your credit, because it's like, I never come on there and say I'm the biggest artist and I'm doing this and that'll never be my character, but do I think I'm doing well for where I'm at and what I was given? Absolutely. And I think I have the beat to feel that and own that, because I've been the only person pushing through for me and pulling through for me every time and showing up for myself. And, I feel like that's the hardest thing is getting through that and accepting that I'm going to fail. If you can get through those failures, you can really, if you can stay consistent and no matter what people say or how they put you down, if you can keep pushing through that and, still being you, which I am always in every moment, I am me entirely. And I'm honest and I can never be nothing but me. I think then you'll be all right. You could really reach the top one day. And that's exactly where I'm headed. But it discourages me. It definitely humbles me and puts me down. And it makes me question myself and be like, okay, like what can I do different to never have that reaction from a person again? Well, so we need that.
Yeah, no doubt. You use the hate as fuel, you heard? Use the hate as fuel. And use your fear. Like use your fear as stepping stones, you heard? For real.
Absolutely.
Anyway, so what's...
They can never get Vixy down. Come on now.
Oh, no, hell no, vixyvice, like Miami Vice, you heard? So what has been your biggest career highlight so far?
Not to, be cliche or anything, but, I would say Drop Me would be definitely my biggest. It definitely had me spinning. I've been in rotation on Spotify. I've been going up and down thousands of Spotify followers and listeners throughout the months, ever since I released that song, I was a 30, 40 monthly listener artist, before I ever released that song, so to see a song really kind of change the algorithm of your career. And I could honestly say that's not even my favorite song. They haven't heard nothing yet. So it's like, it makes me excited because if they really love that song, then they have no idea what's to come. So it just shows me like I haven't even done even maybe 10% of what I really want to do. I've just kind of been tiptoeing my, toes in the sand to see like what works and what the people like most. What is the best route for me? But, Drop Me really, it's brought about a consistent, fan base. It's brought about, a lot of streams. And I always tell people I could just have people listening to me. That's all I need. If I'm doing this for a right reason, I'm gonna have fun with it forever. And I'm always because that's all artists want is to be heard and to be seen. And I think it's a blessing that, I never saw coming because, I was just expecting to stay where I was at. So to see that song do that and change the course of my career, I'm blessed. And I would definitely say that that's one of the most important, aspects of, what I've done so far, what I've done yet, because there's so much to come.
So basically you're saying you use your music as a vessel.
Oh, yeah. Absolutely.
So any songs that you release, are they based off true experiences? People that you know? What song is that?
All of them. Every single one, because most of them just are freestyles, Well, back in the day when I was just, doing music, I wouldn't say professionally, but I was just kind of figuring out who I wanted to be as an artist. It was crazy. It was like, wow, I really just make this music and I don't even have to really,
Yeah, that's a fact. That's a fact. Keep doing your thing,
Really just
So let me ask you another question. What is the strangest habits you have?
The strangest habit.
Yeah, what's one of your
So
strange habits?
I am still I don't have a mic to record at home. The way I do it is I record them off my iPhone videos, right? Like don't even use the voice memo. It's always like the videos on my screen. And a lot of people are like, why do you do it that way? Just get a mic. And I'm like, no, like I like it this way. I like to listen back to my raw sound because if my raw sound and raw voice and the flow of it can sound perfect, like raw, no effect, no audio, nothing, not on anything, then it's going to be a hit, and that's how I kind of criticize myself. I'm like, all right, that's garbage, that's not good, we're going to delete that, we're not going to move forward with that.
So you think that's strange? I don't think that's strange. That's just normal. That's you being in your comfort zone.
Strange because people are like, why don't you use voice memos? You're taking up so much gigabytes on your phone. Like you're just all these like, black screens of just you recording your stuff. It can all be on your voice memos. You can't even label them. So I have this little book where I listen to the freestyle and I write the date and time so I know where it is and I save the beat. And it's just my method. It just works. But people look at me like you're crazy. Like I've never heard of that. I'm like, it's just what I do. It works for me. And it's just how I've always done it. So it's just, it's just the Vixy way.
The Vixy way, no doubt. So what is one of the most embarrassing things you think you've done?
Most embarrassing? I would definitely say, damn, there's been so many. I would say the most embarrassing have to be one of these shows I did where, someone I was like kind of cool with was like, oh, I'm going to like incorporate like a little like, thing to your performance. And like, I mean, it really wasn't even something I did because it's like, me, like I'm like Miss Perfectionist diva. Like I always have to be perfect in the spotlight. But like, I would say the worst thing ever was like when like this guy, he like got on my stage during my set and like, he like tried to put like collar on my neck. And I'm like it like messed up my hair. And like, I completely like cursed out the DJ. I was like, cut my music. Like, it was definitely a bad moment for me. It was not the best. And I was like, you know what? Nobody should have, caught me off guard like that. But at the same time, like he didn't mean it like that. So I just felt like an asshole, So it was definitely, the whole thing was just embarrassing. I would say that's definitely the worst. Because there really hasn't been too many, other than, me just being too lit and just turning up with everybody.
No doubt, no doubt. So let me ask you this. How much do you judge a person by their appearance?
So I would say I'm not really judgmental because I'm always dressed absolutely insane. Like I dress crazily because it's just my thing. So I would say I'm definitely not the person to judge someone on looks. But I mean, if you're coming through to a show and, we won't even see like a little like open mic, like little showcase type of thing. But if you're coming and you're going to be like at a big stage and like, and I haven't really seen this too often, like I really never really seen it, much, but there's been like one or like two times where I've just, seen people like not really care too much about their attire.
Yeah, no. I think everybody judges sometime, man. I mean? That's just human nature,
If you're an artist, you should dress your best. You should dress to impress, look the best, look different, look cool, have your own style, have your own sound, But, I really don't judge people too much because I think everybody looks, amazing in their own way.
Everybody got their own style, you know what I mean?
Exactly. But you know what I'm saying? If you're rolling through in pajamas to a showcase, like I'm judging you just a little bit.
That might be their thing, you heard?
I mean, Vixy might pop out one day in pajamas. I won't put it past her. You know what I'm saying?
That's going to keep the eyes on you heard? That's going to keep the eye. They're going to be like, what the fuck?
Matter of fact, I'm writing that down. We're going to do that one day. I'm going to just pop out.
So what was one of your happiest moments as your childhood?
But I would say probably moving out of Brooklyn, and, getting to have a whole new life and, start a whole new chapter in my life. It was definitely the happiest.
Meet up with people.
And just, it was just like, it was really spent with me and my mom, and, everybody knows what my mom means to me. And, I would say any moment spent with my mom was the happiest moment of my life. Nothing could ever compare to like that kind of happiness I had. And, that was something I didn't know, back when, in the day. So
Yeah,
it's definitely, something I cherish.
Rest in
forever.
peace to your moms, yeah.
She made a legend.
Yeah. So what movie made you cry the most that you watched?
What movie made me cry the most? I don't even know.
So you never cried watching no movie? No movie never got you emotional?
I definitely have. There's just so many. I've watched so many movies. You know what I'll say?
So we got to tell Devon to make sure he got a box of tissue with him when y'all watching a movie, huh?
You know what? I'm going to be so cliche right now because, me and my boyfriend just started watching like all the Marvel movies and stuff. And like every time I see like Tony Stark die, it's like, it really gets to me. Like, I love Iron Man. Like, Iron Man forever. Like, I'm a new fan now. I'm not claiming this Marvel lifestyle forever, but it really, really deeply upsets me because, like, he's Iron Man. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, no doubt.
But I would say I cried a lot more in shows. You know what show had me crying all the time? Power. Power always had me crying. Like, that show upset me. Ooh. Because it's so deep. Like, it's just, how can you watch stuff like that? And just like, it's not even what you're watching, it's the storylines. It really had me, very deeply invested. Empire, I cry all the time. Shameless, I used to cry. I cry in everything a lot. But I'm a horror fan. I like a lot of scary stuff. So.
All right. So, what do you hope to grow out of?
What do I hope to grow out of? I would say, like just the ways I have toxic behaviors still. It's like I don't really, claim to be a toxic person, but I have moments where I slip up and like I let my emotions get the best of me, and that's definitely something I don't want to like. I don't want to bring it into this new year. I don't want to bring it into my new energy. I'm just trying to, be happy, for like the first time in my life. And it's like extremely difficult to do and it feels impossible. But at the same time, feeling impossible, it feels like the first time where I can be happy, it's like a new start. So I'm definitely just, getting myself down, having insecure ways, I'm definitely not an insecure person, but, I feel like there are things where I let my character like get out of, hand, and like I get out of my touch of myself. And I feel like everyone has those moments.
Is that because of their past experiences?
Absolutely. No, my past, like I was definitely, grew up, I had like an okay life, but the way, my adolescence came to be about. It was just like a lot of people I was around, a lot of, things I went through that, put me in like a really deep depression for like a long time. So it's like, and I just was so accustomed to being sad and depressed. I just got used to that lifestyle. I just found comfort like in it, like accepting happiness is impossible. Like that's not something I'll do because I'm comfortable in the place where I'm sad, and that's definitely something I don't want to do or be like anymore. So that's definitely what I want to go out of.
You become very defensive of your heart and your mind and your soul.
Exactly, because
But
so
sometimes that's very dangerous because sometimes we put faults of other people and other things on things that we shouldn't, and we push away things that we need to embrace. You heard?
Yeah.
So you're working on that, right?
Absolutely. I definitely, feel like I just brought a lot of better energy into, this new year. Cause it's like, the worst has happened. So I've lived through the worst thing. So to me, at least, so I feel like it's finally time to just breathe and just accept life for what it is. What I've been given is what it is. There's no changing it. I feel like it's time to move forward and just be a better person overall in everything I do.
And then you know what they say, what don't kill you only make you stronger, you heard?
Exactly. And it's, it's really heartfelt to me that, I can even still get emotional and have a heart and have a strive and a drive to, pursue what I want because it's, it's been rough. It's been hard on me the past few months, but the music keeps me going and it definitely is something that keeps me here 100%.
Oh, no. So what impression do you try to give when you first meet someone?
I want them to know I'm a ball of life. I'm full of energy. I'm going to put a smile on your face. Those people that be giving me stank face, they're just mad that they just don't want to, they just don't want to get to know me. But, when I meet someone, I want them to know, like, I'm very loud, I'm open, I'm fun, I'm down to try new things and down to have a good time, party, turn up, show love to everyone, support. You know, if we were Vixy, we showing out. We in the building. That's just always how it is.
Have a good time.
I want people to always notice my style and, you know, just notice like that girl, she's different. Like, and it's not that I'm pick me. I need to be different, but it's like, I don't even have to try. You know, it just happens. I'm just weird. So it's like, there's that weird girl over there, but she's actually super dope, you know? So.
All right. Ain't nothing wrong with that. What brings you the most joy in life?
Making music, you know, definitely the people in my life that make, you know, the special moments even more special. You know, getting money brings me joy, you know, shopping, getting some new outfits for the Vixen style.
The normal shit. The normal shit. No doubt.
What makes me most happy is succeeding, you know, seeing what I worked so hard for, you know, go a long way.
Yeah, no doubt. I hope you succeed in everything you try to achieve, you heard?
Always.
So you have any new songs coming out? Working on anything new?
I have too many. I don't know what to do right now because there's just so many different sounds and vibes. I'm like at a stop right now. And I'm like, what do I do? Do I put out a single? Do I put out a feature? Do I put out an EP? Do we do an album? Like, what are we doing right now? But I'm definitely not doing any albums right now. You know, I'm definitely trying to, you know, capitalize a little bit more off some of the singles and some of the work I do have before, you know, I put out a full project because, you know, I feel like I could, with all I've learned the past few years, I really could go into the studio with a plan and making like an award-winning album. And that's the goal. So I feel like I'm just trying to stay a little bit more laid back, but I have amazing music. And, you know, a lot of people may not think that way, but it's most important that I think that way because that's what makes me make music and continue to do it because I adore and love my music a lot. And, you know, the new stuff I have, that's what really drives me insane up a wall because it's like, if people love what I have now, like they don't even know what I have, you know, hidden. So it's like, if you're counting me out and, you know, stopping to mess with me or whatever, and you're not, you know, really respecting what I'm doing, then good. I want you to stop because you don't deserve to be there when I make it.
No doubt. You can't be there through the bitter, then you can't be there through the good times, you heard?
Right. But, you know, right now I got a little song that I've been, you know, previewing. It's called Black Lipstick. I might change the title, but for now, that's the MP3 name. I got Dub Dilemma on it with me. And, you know, we really came together and made a really good, you know, pop song. And I feel like it would be really good, you know, to release it like, you know, around the springtime and whatnot. So, you know, I'm pretty much just trying to like get my content that I have right now in order and see what I'm going to release and, you know, how to move forward. You know, I'm doing like 2 music videos that should be out before the summer. And then we got Montclair season coming this summer finally. So I know everybody been waiting on that. So no, the wait is over.
So that's what's the last song you wrote? What's the name of the last song you wrote?
Last song I wrote would be called Illusion, and this is some new stuff. Like it's new. Like this is like some pop club hit. Like I don't even know. Like when I listen to this song, I'm like, I don't know who that is here. But it's like this one, it's crazy. I listen to it, I'm like, nah, that's not me. But it's very different. It's a different sound, and it just makes you want to get up and dance. I never pictured myself like making a song like that, you know?
So everything you do it different. Every time you come out with a sound, you come out with something new.
It's like, I'm afraid I'm going to go into the booth and come out country and stick with country when I really love to do this. So like, let's not do that, right?
Hey, don't be afraid of creativity, yeah? Don't be afraid. You never know. And make sure y'all come see her April 9th at the Go Crazy Festival in New York. We outside.
We are outside for another movie. I will be hosting with Q the God. You guys do not want to miss that. Woo! I feel sorry for y'all if you missed that event.
So let me ask you, let's get back to the questions. And a mainstream artist, who would you like to collaborate with?
I would love to collaborate with Ian Dior. I have been saying this since I have started music. Obviously, my number one feature would be Juice WRLD, but you know that king is no longer with us. Yeah, so rest in peace.
Rest in peace.
Forever. 999. Got to pat it on my neck. You know, I definitely love Ian Dior's sound. He's definitely, you know, I love his sound. I love how he's branched out. He's done different genres. He's pop, but he's punk and he's sad and it's rap and it's emo. And I just love every bit of it. And, you know, I feel like that's really where I've been taking my sound. And he's been one of my favorite artists for a long time. And I feel like he's a different favorite artist to have. And I love different. I love when people sound different, and I love to support them and, fuck with them heavy because I'm different. And, that's what I notice in people. So that would be my dream collab as a mainstream artist. That's the first person I'm calling because I don't think Leroy will, work with me. But
What about females?
Females. Oh, do I want to work? I don't know if you know her. Her name is Jessie Murph. I found her on TikTok I would say about the September 21. I absolutely love her sound. You got to do some homework and check her out. Jessie Murph. She is so fire. Her voice is just beautiful. Like I sometimes cover her songs and I can hit every single note. And I just think that she has that different grunge, deep voice like me. And I feel like if me and her came through together on a track, like I feel like it would just be phenomenal. And she, I know she's pretty famous. She's got millions on TikTok, but I wouldn't say, she's up there with like the biggest artists on like, any Drake kind of level, but I think that's absolutely where she's headed. And I would rather work with her than anybody on that level because I just think she's that talented. So.
Okay. Do you play any instrument?
So I've been learning acoustic guitar for like a year and a half.
Fire.
I'm so bad at it. Like my engineer tries to teach me, he laughs at me. He's like, but I learned all the chords. I know some riffs. It's just, I'm not consistent with that. And, I yell at myself and I really I beat myself up about it because I have a beautiful light pink guitar. Like, it's like so simple. It's like not rocket science. It's just the effort part. I'd rather, figure out how to, sing better before I learn how to play guitar better,
Yeah, for real. Are you interested in learning any other instruments?
I would say not really, because I would love to hire a band to work for me.
As an artist, the keyboard is a very important thing, you know what I mean?
Well, I would say piano. I would be open to learning. It's not like, oh my God,
understanding the notes, you know what I mean?
But I'm open to it. Yeah, for sure. I'm definitely open to it. It would definitely be like a very cool, experience because it's something I never would have did on my own. So, if it was something I was offered and had the opportunity to, I would, definitely.
Mm-hmm. It'll help you understand notes and keys, you know what I mean? A lot
exactly. Better than what I already know.
Yeah. So, where was your first performance?
First performance ever?
Yes.
Counting school plays and talent shows. No, right? We're definitely.
I'm talking about the real deal.
So I would say my first show was March of 2022. It was right before my birthday. I had been booked for a concert in upstate New York, and the people I was working with at the time, they were doing a show, and I was like, all right, I'm so scared and nervous, but I definitely think it's beneficial to touch a mic for the first time before I go and do an actual concert with a lot of people. I thought it was and it was in Staten Island, so it was home for me. So, and I had a lot of people there that were supporters of mine that over the years that have never heard me perform before. So it was an experience. I definitely fumbled the bag with that one. I thought I was hot shit till I touched the mic. I was out of breath after the first song and I had no voice control. So the first performance was definitely, not my best, but it was, it was definitely an amazing start to something. It was the start of something new. It was definitely, It was crazy. And then ever since then, I haven't stopped. And I've taught myself as I've gone, now I want to take lessons and classes and dance classes because I really want to become the next biggest thing,
No doubt. You sure want to. And what is your dream performance? What platform?
I want to be in Madison Square Garden. Nope. I want vixyvice. I want Vixy World. Vixy. We're not gonna copy dude. Vixy Day. It's gonna be a Vixy Day, and it's gonna be a whole festival for me.
That's big.
Madison Square Garden. I want to sell that shit out, and I'm gonna sell that shit out one day. I mark my words. I'm doing that. I swear to God.
What about the Barclays? What about the Barclays Center?
Madison Square Garden, the Met Stadium, any of those are dreams. Dreams for me. Coachella, Rolling Loud, those, performing and headlining those big festivals are absolutely a dream for me too. But, a dream. We're talking dreams here, right? So I would love my own show, my own concert. People are just there to see me. There's no openers, nothing. They're there for a full 2-hour long concert. So that's what I want.
That's what's up. So do you write your own music, or do you have a ghostwriter? Have anyone ever written music for you before?
Yeah. So I'm going to get into that. So I do not have any ghostwriters. I have my one person that I, let, help me along, like we sit there and write music together, and that's Petey Pesto. And, that's my engineer, my producer. We've worked together my whole career, and it wasn't
he gave you positive input. He gave you input.
Absolutely. He's like, you should, let's say this instead of that. Or, there's been times where he's like, he comes up with the whole verse and the whole hook. And I'm like, that's amazing. And then, but it's always, I wouldn't say it's ghost writing, because me and him sit there together and we both like come together to really like figure out like, how is this going to sound the best, but without him, I wouldn't have that mentality. So, he's definitely a big help, and, he makes my stuff sound, amazing. And, what it wouldn't sound like without him, it wouldn't sound like that without just me. A lot of them I do just by myself, and I've been branching out and, working at a few other studios and doing my own hit records all on my own. But, that's because he taught me how to be like that, and how to step back and, reflect and be like, I should say this instead of that. And that's what he taught me. So it's amazing to see that.
It ain't nothing wrong with that, because when you're in the studio, you got people in the studio. That's what they supposed to be there for. Yeah, exactly. You know what I mean? Hype you up. You know what I mean? And keep it real with you. Like, if that shit corny, tell me it's corny. You know what I mean? So I can go in there and fix that. Yeah. And,
I always give credit where it's due. Like that's my ride or die in this industry. For sure. And I'll always say that, and I'll always reflect on that, and talk about how I wouldn't be where I am today, without the help I'm given. But at the same time, the help I'm given has made me become so much stronger on my own. And it's, things I'm applying in, so many different ways, like in my music. And it's making myself so much proud, because it's like, thank you. Like, you've given me the keys to like really, figure out my sound and who I want to be as an artist. And there's nothing wrong with working together and working and making, because if it can be better than what it already is, why not just let it happen? And I've written so much music, and I have hit records that I've done some, but they're all amazing. It's not even about who wrote what. It's about the sound and the song. You know what I'm saying? Because who cares who cares how many songs that were written for by other people from Taylor Swift, you know what I'm saying? Or how many people came together to write that.
As long as the song is good, yeah.
It's a hit. It's the number one on the radio. No one really cares about that stuff, I feel like.
So are you doing features? Are you charging for features? Do you write for other people? Are you willing to write for other people? You're charging them? Talk about it. What's the fee?
I'm talking. So right now.
Tell them also, hold on. Tell them also where they could hit you up and because they tuned in and they might want you to write something for them.
Absolutely. So, anybody can message me on vixyvice or vixyvice music. There's also, when you go onto Google and you search me up, there's Indie Amplify. You can actually book me for a feature and pay right up front. So you don't even have to go through any of that mess. With asking me, you can just book it right there, send the song, and I'm paid. I'm doing it, But other than that, I'm open to anything. I work with budgets. My charging price right now for a vocal feature, and this is for any kind of song. Like, it could just be a verse, it could just be a hook. If you want me on the hook, if you want a verse, ad libs, whatever, I'm charging $500 right now. And absolutely, I'm able to double down on that and work with the artist budgets. But right now, I feel like for me to stop what I'm doing in my craft and my work, and to collaborate with someone else, and I don't know, I would say it's that's definitely my price. I've definitely earned my stripes when it comes to my streams and my name and my clout. And I'm not that big of an artist, and I'm not, a huge artist or a clouded artist like crazy. But, I feel like for me to collaborate with someone that I don't want to feature with, that I wouldn't have found like on my own time, like that's my price, but if we vibe in, we talking, there's always, a set price. Like there's always negotiation in that, like that's not my set price,
Yeah.
and, I'm going to just, I don't, I'm just, but it's always been like, for me, it's always been like a mainstream, like I'm the main character for me. Like I'm not really like looking to collaborate, but I've done a lot of collabs this past year and I love it so much. And I'm so open to working with other artists. And, sometimes it's me paying for features as well. You know what I'm saying? Like, so I'm definitely, that's just my price and that's just what it is.
No.
You don't have to pay it if you don't like it.
No doubt. So when you perform, do the audience sing along with you? Do you, tell us what's going on? They tapping with you? Let me know.
So when I sing like Gone or Drop Me or the songs that I have out, I have a lot of people singing along with me. But, a lot of the times I like to, give people the juice, give people the new stuff, a taste of the new sound, keep them loving me, keep them in tune. So a lot of the times they're like, but there's sometimes I see them trying to like memorize the words, like towards the end of the song, like the hook comes on again. I'm like, oh, okay, I see you. Like you peep that, like you know the words already. So that's definitely a vibe.
And how do that energy feel?
Amazing. It fuels me, reasons I keep doing what I'm doing. Cause it's like, I just love that people can relate and really feel my music. And it lets me know I'm not like so alone in life,
That's a good thing.
Other people they relate to me. So it's like other people must go through the same thing. And like for so many years, I thought I was alone and nobody felt the ways I did. And that's always kind of made me feel like I was lost, but it's really not like that, as I've, evolved and seen a lot of different things.
So do you make music for yourself or do you make music for your fans?
In the beginning, it was, for myself.
Or
but
you being selfish with your music, huh?
Oh yeah. I mean, I'm definitely I'm number one gatekeeper. I do not release like the golden records are not out yet. So it's like, it's just, I don't know. It's like, I get to listen to myself all day, every day. I am definitely that girl. Like I love my music and I play it all the time, but I would definitely say the way I create it and make it, it's not about me anymore. It's about, I really want to take my experiences and reach people and touch them and touch their hearts in the most purest ways. Cause it's real shit. And I know that there are people suffering out there and going through even worse than I'm going through. And I feel like I'm going through the worst. So it's like, I know that there's people I can speak to. And like, a lot of times I've had people reach out and we've had conversations and, people let me know that I help them through a day. And like, that's the most, to me, that's the only thing I could ever need in this world. When it comes to my music career is making someone's day better from them listening to my music and my sound.
So would you consider yourself a local artist or an international artist?
Right now, I would definitely say I'm tri-state. I have been all over this.
No, I ain't talking about in that aspect. Like I'm talking about, do you make music for the hood or are you making music for the world?
No, international, the world. I want for the absolute world.
That's the big bag.
My music would sound big different if I made it for local like vibes. Hell no. I am doing something entirely different and utterly different than what the next person in my city is doing. And that's why I know I'm gonna make it out of here, period.
No doubt. I hope you do. Do you have any performances coming up? Where and when?
All right. So I got the Atlanta Lounge in Philly this Saturday. We are turning up. We got some, great talent in the building. That's my show. And for this weekend, then next weekend, Valentine's Day, me and my team, me and all my friends, my artist friends, we are going to be in Chester, PA. We're doing a Valentine's Day show where, we're pulling up for Stony SOS. It's fire, great vibe, amazing music. I love to do events and pull up for them and show love. And I got a lot of my friends that are coming and going to be in the building. That's for February. And as far as I know, that's pretty much it until I destroy and I annihilate that stage of my brother, Q the God, April 9th.
April 9th, go crazy. Make sure y'all tap in. You heard? Big things going on. Artists from all over.
Like I said, I feel so sorry if they're not there. Like,
it's all about them, right? It's all about them. What we doing is for the artists, right? No
like
bullshit.
I feel like when I have a go crazy or whose mic is it show, like step aside, bitches. Like this is my show, my thing. Like everybody get out of my way. Like I have the real deal experience going on right now and can't nobody tell me nothing. And it's a beautiful thing. So, I feel like every artist should have that experience and, get to, come down and showcase their talent for Brooklyn. Like, come on, that's where we're from now. Come on now.
That's why we give the platform for that, you know what I mean? So
so much exposure. There's so much media in the building, and there's so many people and so many fans and so many photographers
from all over too.
Exactly, from all over. You see so many sounds from Philly to Maryland to Virginia to the Carolinas. It's beautiful.
LA, New Orleans, Chicago.
Yes, I forget.
I mean, Baltimore, North Carolina, South Carolina, Atlanta,
and announce them and dance with them, and I'm just like, oh my god, like it's a surreal.
Somebody
experience.
said, "Shout out Brooklyn." Brooklyn always in the building, though. You know what I mean?
Forever, born and raised.
So, what's your?
Why are you so crazy? That's why.
What can your fans expect from your live show?
They can expect a goddamn show. Like, come on now. Like, I be getting on the ground. We be jumping off stages. We be sitting on the floor. We be turning up. We're in our feelings. We're in our bed. We're crying. We're in pain, but we're happy. We're getting lit. It's just, it's just a vibe. That is the Vixy vibe, and that's the music. And they can never expect anything less than for me to get up there and do something different and wild. And that's just what it is.
No doubt. So make sure y'all come see her April 9th. It's going to be vixyvice, Q the God, and plenty more. Trust me.
Young Say So.
No doubt. Young Say So, NBO. So what is the most important thing a person can do to improve themselves? And after that, we closing.
Most important thing someone can do to improve themselves is to really reflect on their actions, look back, see, think about what they did, see how they move, see, find their own problems in themselves. And, when you are tired of your own shit, I think that's when you're going to make the most growth in your life. And when you want more for yourself and when you just don't want to be a certain way anymore, to really sit back and accept that, okay, maybe I am the problem in some situations. Maybe I shouldn't have said that. Maybe I shouldn't have done that. Maybe I shouldn't have been that way. Maybe I shouldn't have, did this, when you can really sit back and accept your own faults and your own wrongs. I think that's when the most important part of growth comes into play and where the most room for improvement can be, brought about.
Oh, yeah. Tell everybody where they could find you, where they could follow you. Tell them all your tags. Tell them where your music at, where your videos at. You know what I mean? Let them know the whole shebang. You heard?
You already know. So y'all can follow the Princess of Staten Island. I should say the Queen of Staten Island, the Victor Vice, Vixyvice, the motherfucking Vixen, at Vixyvice, the Vice you need in life on all platforms. That's VIXY Vice. Yeah, pretty much I'm on everything. That's every single name because I'm just that great. I got my name on everything.
Well, let me show y'all tap in with her. You heard?